Hello everyone, today is Tuesday, April 20. Happy 420, and I'll be going over my recap for today. So 420, pot day, didn't seem like there was a lot of pot stocks moving, so it's unfortunate. I was hoping for a kind of runners on the pot section and maybe something there. But unfortunately, I think a few of those pot names, I think SNDL had a gap from yesterday, and it just faded all day. So today I made a total of 175 on my Thinkorswim, and then 101 on my Trade Zero. Total of 286 for today. So let's go over my first trade of the day, which was SOS. So I actually had six loss and one big winner, which kept me green for the day. So SOS was had decent volume today, and it was a kind of low day bounce off the lows there, trying to get that 90 EMA retest bounce. So what I saw here was an extension during this initial spike here. This first initial spike extended, but it had a few like 9 EMA on the hourly and the VWAP here to hold, but I was looking for a inverted cup handle here to short. So I think I might have took this a little early, and then I stopped out right away, and it could have been a decent 10-cent mover there. But I think I took a 3-cent loss here, $30 loss there. And then I took another $20 loss here. But this was a nice long break off of this here. I was actually looking for a long. It was a nice looking flag. You can see prior resistance become support and creating these higher lows. So the best position to go long here was this spot here. I went long a little bit too early. I went for this kind of a flag within a flag break, and I ended up stopping out. I think I think I should have just held there. So this was a long play that I stopped out. Then I took a short here for I think it was a break even at this spot, and I was looking for a 5-minute test. It was extending on the 1-minute chart. I ended up testing here, which wouldn't hit my stop yet. So lately the trend, or like the last few trades, was I stopped out a little bit too early, but in the end you reduce your risk, but you end up losing some opportunities. So my biggest win was off this break here. You can see this 5-minute trend break off this inverted cup and handle on the 5-minute chart. And then you can see there was a flag on the 5-minute chart. It had a break here, didn't go anywhere, so I went ahead and looked for the inverted cup and handle right there. And that's where I added more shorts there. And I covered on I was pretty patient on this one, looking for that 15-minute trend target. So I covered 4,000 shares there right at $4. So pretty patient, paid off there. That was like a $480 trade. And gaining my losers back here, which was roughly $100 loss. And then it started trailing higher, and I tried to take another stab at it short here, and it took a loss a little bit too early. Then another short here, so that's a very cup handle, and then I added a few, covered a bit, and I added some here thinking it would be a bear flag to retest the 15-minute chart towards the end of the day, but it didn't do that and ended up holding here. And then when I saw this kind of fell flag here, I went ahead and tried again short, and then I covered after hours a couple of minutes after there for a small loss. But that was a $500 and $7 winner on SOS from all these trades. Next trade was ears. So ears was, I think eyes was running for a little bit, and I went ahead and just bought this just in case it kind of rips a little bit higher. But I was just buying it or risking like 50 bucks or so. But once it popped there, it rejected off VWAP, I went ahead and took it off for a small loss there of $8. Next trade was MOXC, MOXC, and this was for a $12 loss. And this had a kind of nice daily chart kind of breakout. It's a continuation day, and I was looking for a kind of flag, so you can see support became or resistance became support here. Had a nice flag. It broke, not enough volume or follow through, and it ended up creating an inverted cup and handle for a short there, and eventually popped back up. But pretty much took a flat loss here, $12. Next trade was WRAP. So WRAP, I think I had a decent like unrealized gain here, but I didn't take it. So one spot was here. I think I took a loss here, which isn't too bad. I think it was a break-even loss, or pretty much small loss there. And then I had another kind of opportunity here where I could have taken some profits down here, which would have been good, but I ended up taking another kind of break-even stop there. But it ended up testing the hourly right when I stopped out, so that would have been a nice move had I held it. But that's the WRAP for a $12 loss. Next trade was TDUP. So TDUP had this kind of big spike. I saw like a little inverted cup and handle around this area. It kind of broke and reclaimed, and I stopped out there for a loss. And then I tried again when it was trying to break this flag, and it failed. So I went ahead and took a short again off this trend line break. It broke momentarily, tested the 5-minute chart, and then kind of squeezed me out there for a $35 loss total. Next trade was BNGO. So BNGO was a morning trade, and this had like an extension in the morning, and I thought this was an inverted cup and handle. It broke momentarily there. You can see the little wick, and usually I find this wick as a short trap, and usually if it doesn't continue lower and kind of just consolidate after creating this wick, usually it's a bullish move and it would trend higher. So I went ahead and took it off there for a $82 loss. So actually I think that was a $50 loss, and then I took another small loss here. So another, two kind of short traps here. I had my stop here. If I give myself the room to stop there, I would have kind of trailed this a little bit better, but I was kind of conservative because I saw these wick similar to the one down here, and I was a little more conservative and stopped that a little bit earlier for a kind of $30 loss here. But had I held, with my plan to stop at that lower high from that inverted cup and handle break, would have been a winner there on BNGO, but that was at $82 loss. Next trade was NNDM, so my biggest loser of the day. Took a few trades here. First one was kind of this uptrend, and I think I saw this trend line break, kind of bear flag, and you can see I shorted here off that break. Would have been a good area. Had a nice little wash, and again my stop here. I went ahead and recovered a little bit there, and I stopped out the rest there. Again, I didn't give myself room, and it would have been a nice trail and a good winner there, and it hadn't stopped me out yet. But I was a little conservative. and kind of went down from there. For $180 loss, I think, yeah, I think this was a $50 loss here, and I attempted a long trade here. You can see that little wick. I bought that thinking it was a cup and handle break for the VWAP squeeze. Kind of what happened here, but it happened after it kind of retested one more time at this level, and then it did what I wanted to do a few minutes later. So it did a stop. I took this was a break-even trade there, and then I went ahead and tried to short this back down after I couldn't hold VWAP, but I went ahead and short, and then it popped and tested VWAP and held, and you can see the little wick here. That was another short trap, so I went ahead and cover, and then it squeezed shorts there above VWAP. So the short squeezed me out there, and this was like for a $80 loss or so, and bringing me to a total of $180 down on NNDM. But overall, my Thinkorswim is above 175 or up at 175 thanks to SOS win. And then for my trade zero, I had one trade on trade zero, and that was on BTX. So you can see BTX here had a inverted cup and handle trend line on the 1 minute chart. I took it short there. I went in a little early over here for this little break. It didn't work, so I stopped out for a $70 loss there. And then it set up again after it failed rejection. Went ahead and attacked short and covered around this 980 area, where the 5 minute trend is at. If you look at the 5 minute chart, this is where it kind of retested the 5 minute 9 EMA, and that's where my target was. So that was BTX, my only trade on trade zero. And again, I opened a second broker to increase my availability in short. I didn't have availability on my Thinkorswim, and I think it'll give me more opportunity to have more plays. So that was $101 total win there on trade zero. It costs about $19 to locate these shares, so roughly about $80 profit there. But yeah, for a total of 286 for today. And if you enjoy these content and enjoyed my analysis and insight, feel free to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.